7 Eyewitness News.
Breaking tonight, the Department of Justice releasing thousands of pages of files related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
Progress at City Hall. Council members pass an alternative spending plan, but the mayor reintroduces his head tax.
And a holiday surprise from some big spenders in the suburbs. But on this Friday, we begin tonight with breaking news out of Washington. The highly anticipated release of the Epstein files began this afternoon.
The Department of Justice says it expects to release hundreds of thousands of files online.
ABC's Olivia Rubin has the latest tonight.
Good evening, guys. The Department of Justice has released a portion of those files, but one of the big questions now is when will they all be released?
Today, a moment years in the making. The files on convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein released. The Department of Justice this afternoon releasing thousands of pages of records, including photos and video. But already, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche today now signaling they may not be able to fully comply with the law.
I said all the files will not be released today. And the law is very specific that the Department of Justice is required to make sure that we protect victims.
Some Democrats in Congress now threatening legal action if DOJ doesn't comply with the release.
My concern is whether they are releasing the documents in good faith, even if it's piecemeal, or whether this is just more of the old documents being put out and a cover-up.
The Epstein Files Transparency Act gave DOJ 30 days to release the full files. DOJ can withhold material depicting child sexual abuse or material that would jeopardize an active federal investigation. The Epstein files are separate from the dozens of photos and documents already released by House Democrats. Those were subpoenaed from the Epstein estate, including this image of Epstein surrounded by young women, their faces redacted. The images released without any context explaining the circumstances of the photos. And these photos of President Trump, a longtime friend of Epstein. After Epstein's arrest in 2019, Trump saying the two hadn't spoken in more than a decade after a falling out. Blanche now says there are no orders to redact any mentions of the president in the DOJ release.
Assuming it's consistent with the law, yes. So there's no effort to hold anything back because there's the name Donald J. Trump or anybody else's name.
And this week, the president's chief of staff, Susie Wiles, telling Vanity Fair in an interview that the president is in the Epstein files, but that he's not, quote, doing anything awful. Guys.
All right, thank you for that report. Investigators are trying to find motives for the shooting at Brown University and the murder of an MIT professor. A crucial break in the case, thanks to a Reddit user, led them to the suspect. The alleged shooter was found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. ABC's Christian Cordero has the latest from Providence.
Today, investigators across New England are working to figure out why, they say, a 48-year-old man shot and killed students in a Brown University lecture hall, then murdered an MIT professor 2 days later. Officials say Claudio Neves Valente and MIT nuclear physicist Nuno Loureiro both studied at the same university in Portugal decades ago, alleging Valente fatally shot Loureiro at his home near Boston Monday night in a targeted attack.
It's really hard to process that someone can really holds that amount of rage against someone for such a long period.
Officials add Valente was a PhD student at Brown 25 years ago and dropped out after a year. On Saturday, police say he fired more than 40 rounds in the university's engineering building, killing 2 students and injuring several others. According to the affidavit, the shooter then took off in a gray sedan he rented, changing the license plates before the murder in Massachusetts. In that rental car, investigators say they found 3 thumb drives, which they're now searching through as they look for a motive.
He was sophisticated in hiding his tracks.
Investigators credit a Reddit user for helping track the suspect down. The person referred to in documents as John said he first saw the suspect in a bathroom on Brown's campus. This video released by the FBI shows the suspect walking from the left side of the screen, then running away when he sees the person authorities describe as John approaching him.
That person came forward and said he had information, and he blew this case right open.
After allegedly killing the MIT professor, investigators say the suspect hid in a New Hampshire storage locker where he was later found with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Autopsy results released today estimate he died Tuesday. Christian Cordero, ABC News, Providence, Rhode Island.
All right, thank you for that report, Christiane. As we take a live look, we've made it through to another work week together. It is Friday, of course, and the city is all lit up in the holiday green and red.
I love it. I love the green and red.
Right?
It looks so good, definitely.
A little deceiving with the sunshine.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Well, let's get right over to meteorologist Cheryl Scott, because I know it was so cold this morning, but the warm-up is on the way.
It is. As we head into the start of our weekend, temperatures will be on the climb. Right now, we are sitting in the teens. O'Hare 19. The same for Midway. Yesterday, we had a high of 51. So put that into perspective. The wind chills, what it feels like outside, near 0 to about 10 degrees across the board, 20s far to the south. And then as we put our temps here in motion, we climb quickly into the 30s to kick off the day tomorrow. So temps rise overnight, and then we'll climb into the 40s before we start to see those temperatures take a dip later in the evening. So if you're heading to Soldier Field, it's going to be in the 30s, but this is so much better than last Sunday when it felt like it was near 20 to 30 degrees below 0, factoring in that wind chill. A nice night for some football, a winning forecast that is. And as we head into Sunday, things will get a little bit cooler with those temperatures dropping off into the 20s, guys.
All right, Cheryl, thank you. Today, the CTA launching its new security plan, a plan we first told you about yesterday. But now the Federal Transit Administration is already pushing back. Now, the CTA calls it a security surge, bolstering police presence at the platforms across the city. It is also adding private security K-9 units. Now, some riders tell us they did notice a difference, but still don't feel safe.
I've seen a lot more police in the area, actually. I feel like that's actually what's helping it, but I feel like it's really our mindset. The police could be around, but it's really how you think.
I'm going to be honest. I get on certain stops, I see the police or security, and they're just standing around talking to one another. They are not patrolling.
Well, today the FTA sent a letter to the CTA. It threatened to take away federal funding if the CTA doesn't come up with more solutions. We have reached out to the CTA for a comment, but have not heard back.
Mayor Brandon Johnson making a last-minute maneuver to reintroduce his controversial corporate head tax today. He wanted that revenue to replace the city debt collection proposal that he opposes.
ABC 7 political reporter Craig Wall telling us that the move got temporarily shelved, but it's clear that the mayor is not ready to concede. He's lost the budget battle.
The stage is now set for the full city council to vote on the entire budget package at Saturday's council meeting. But today the mayor insisted he thinks there's still time to work out a compromise. Mayor Brandon Johnson bringing a Friday surprise to the city council, but there were no holiday treats involved. Instead, he introduced a last-minute revised budget ordinance to reintroduce the corporate head tax, the same measure that a majority of the council had previously voted down in the Finance Committee.
2 committees called will go to Rules.
Johnson's ordinance immediately got sent to the Rules Committee, where it's likely dead.
This is a good time to stop playing the games and let's get serious about balancing a budget that a clear majority of the city council supports, and let's move on.
The mayor's modified budget calls for allowing gaming at Midway Airport instead of having video gaming terminals spread around the city, and he restored the full pension payment for city employees, which his aldermanic opponents had been pushing for, but he continued to express concerns that the alternative budget was unbalanced and
there's an attempt to sell off debt, to send debt collectors after working people. Again, I don't believe this is, a principled approach towards how we balance our budget.
The alternative budget alders insist their plan would not go after the working poor who could not pay outstanding water bills or parking tickets, but instead businesses and developers who owe the city money and can afford to pay.
Those are the businesses, those are the developers, those are the people. If they are not paying their bills, they need to pay them. So this is a very simple process. The mayor just needs to stop the rhetoric, get to the table, and start doing the work that the legislative body who represent the people of this city tell him to do.
With the two sides agreeing on almost the entire budget plan the mayor proposed, I asked him why he could not accept this as a win.
You know how many times people fought for civil rights, women's rights, the rights to vote? Wouldn't that have been a shame if we would have had that same question for people a generation ago? That you've lost it, why not just give up?
If the Alternative Budget Coalition succeeds in passing its plan over the mayor's objection, it would be the first time that's happened in decades, if ever.
This is what leadership looks like. These 29, these 30 aldermen that have been with us, we've sat down, we've engaged. You've seen moments where we've been criticized for things that have been put on the table. Lots of things get put on the table in the process of making a budget. That's what this is all about. I wish the mayor knew that.
The mayor still contemplating a veto. If for some reason the budget vote does not happen Saturday, there are still 2 other city council meetings planned for next week on December 23rd and December 24th. The mayor said he would like to get a budget passed before Christmas. At City Hall, Craig Wall, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Greg, thank you for that report. Coming up tonight, a warning about the flu as cases are spiking.
Healthcare premiums set to double in some cases as Congress fails to extend Affordable Care Act subsidies.
And a dramatic rescue as crews pull a family from raging floodwaters. Flu cases are surging ahead of the holiday week, forcing some schools to close early to help curb the spread. The CDC reporting that the number of flu patients in hospitals have already doubled compared to last year. Driving the spike is a new variant known as sub-clade K. Experts are warning that it may be more effective at evading immunity from the vaccines in prior infections. And health insurance premiums are slated to go up on January 1st. People here and across the country are trying to figure out what it could mean to their budgets. Sarah Schulte taking a look tonight at the rising costs and how it could force some people to make tough choices.
Congress left Washington for the rest of the year without extending Obamacare subsidies, facing premiums that will double on January 1st. Some small business owners doubt they can stay in business.
Volume's Book Cafe has been open for 10 years, the last 3 in Wicker Park. As former school teachers who love books, Kimberly George and her sister Rebecca own the small bookstore together.
Most of the kids just know us as the bookstore ladies when they see us on the streets. So this was kind of our dream. We'd hoped to do this forever. Unfortunately, that's not the case.
George says she and her sister are closing their store February 1st. Since a Barnes & Noble moved down the street, George says business has gone down by 30%. And on top of it, George says their health care premiums are going to more than double January 1st.
We're barely affording it to begin with. And you go from, $300-400 a month to $800 to $1,000 a month. Forget it.
Like millions of Americans, George and her sister are insured through the Affordable Care Act, known as Obamacare. Congress has been fighting over extending subsidies for months. Without it, premiums for 500,000 people just in Illinois will more than double.
The Democrats broke America's health care system. When they gave us the ACA, the Unaffordable Care Act, 15 years ago, they promised that premiums would come down.
This week, Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson refused to hold a vote before lawmakers left town for the holiday break. Some moderate Republicans are joining forces with Democrats to possibly force a vote on the subsidies when they return in January.
There's talk that many Republicans would like to see them just extended for 3 more years and get behind this issue.
Chicago Congressman Mike Quigley warns Republicans if the subsidies are not extended and health insurance becomes unaffordable, millions may go without health care coverage altogether, which he says will cost everyone more. George says she and her sister have health issues. They need Obamacare.
It saved me. And now with my sister being diagnosed with illness, it saved her.
When their bookstore closes, the George sisters say their only option is to find new jobs that provide health insurance. If not, they hope that the Obamacare subsidies will be extended in January. In Wicker Park, Sarah Schulte, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Sarah, thank you for that report. Now to the gift of generosity. Served up today at a suburban restaurant, workers there receiving a surprise tip of several $1,000s.
Just incredible. The annual Shaka Claus event in Bolingbrook is making Chicago proud. Our Evelyn Holmes talks to those behind this unexpected gift and the workers who will split the big tip.
A group of friends truly embraced the meaning of the holidays. They made Christmas come early for workers at a local restaurant by leaving them nearly $5,000 in tips for the holiday.
Thank you.
Servers and waitstaff at the Nest Bar and Grill thought it was going to be just another busy day. Close to 50 diners descended on the eatery at the Bolingbrook Golf Club in the southwest suburb for what they thought was going to be another business lunch.
Wait here because every person that's here has $100 for you guys.
Wow. But the workers had no idea what was really in store.
Shock, emotion, like I'm not trying to cry right now, but very grateful. Because I have kids at home and times have been tough.
When the diners finished their meals, each dropped a cool $100 tip on top of their tab, leaving workers stunned when they realized they'd been left a tip of nearly $5,000.
I wasn't even supposed to work today, but something in me told me to come in, and I am so grateful I picked up today.
The act of generosity is all a part of Joe Jamanco's annual Shock and Claus event. He says it supports service industry workers that are often overlooked during the holidays. The movement was created in Denver, Colorado in 2015 and has spread across the country. This is Joe's biggest turnout so far.
I had a job at Denny's when I was in college. I was a terrible server. I would have never made it. I could have never made a living doing it, but I appreciated during that time how hard the work was. That's always stuck with me.
The attorney started the local giving effort 8 years ago after a friend introduced him to the idea.
The look on the waitress or waiter's faces when they get that money, it's just priceless.
The restaurants are picked at random based on their ability to accommodate the number of diners attending the meal.
It's a time to give back to people. You know, a lot of people struggling right now.
In all, at least 5 restaurant workers were sharing today's blessing, which is not just about the money, but also goodwill. They're hoping their sense of spirit and of the holiday will spread to others. Reporting from Southwest Suburban Bolingbrook, Evelyn Holmes, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Well said. That is what the season is really all about.
Incredible,
giving.
too. Look at that wad, man. All right, servers.
You got to take care of servers.
Yes, you do.
It says a lot about how you treat them, too.
You bet.
So thank you for that beautiful story. On this Feel Good Friday, Evelyn, we appreciate it. Coming up, the impact the local blood donations have. And here is a life-changing gift.
And taking a live look outside as we head to break. Temperatures warming back up this weekend. The updated AccuWeather forecast coming up next.
A dramatic rescue in Oregon. A father and 5 children pulled from a truck that became stuck in floodwaters. Now, it happened in Molalla. That's about 25 miles south of Portland. Heavy rains have caused the rivers there to spill over their banks, and many areas still under evacuation orders. The rescuers did use the rafts to take the man and his children to safety. That's so good that everybody got out safe.
Oh my goodness,
Unbelievable.
incredible rescue there. Thank gosh they were there.
Heart-wrenching video there. It's
Really
like you're
is.
holding your breath.
I mean, they're up to their waists in that water. Just incredible. Meanwhile, over here, different story as we are looking forward to a warm-up this weekend and a big game tomorrow. Meteorologist Cheryl Scott has your AccuWeather forecast. Hey, Cheryl.
Yes,
Hey, Cheryl.
I think a lot of Chicago eyes will be glued to the TVs tomorrow night, watching the Bears take on the Packers or at Soldier Field. It's going to be a great night for football, considering last weekend it was so unbelievably cold. Right now we sit at 19 degrees. That frigid air mass moved in overnight with those strong gusty winds out of the north and west. It's going to stay cool for the next couple of hours, but temperatures will be on the rise overnight. So we're pretty much at the coldest point of this air mass right now. It feels like it's in the single digits, 20s to the south. That's because when shifting in from the south, temperatures start to rise overnight. So we climb into the mid 30s by 10 a.m. into early afternoon, highs near 40 degrees, and then we'll start to see them drop as we head into the evening, but still near 30, 32 degrees by about 8, 9 o'clock. So we start off the game with temps in the mid to upper 30s and then falling to near freezing. This will feel balmy compared to last weekend. Mostly quiet conditions as well. Can't rule out a passing sprinkle or flurry on our Saturday, but mostly dry, mainly cloudy as well. As we head into Sunday, a colder air mass will settle in, and Sunday morning will be cool and frigid, with temperatures feeling like they're anywhere from about 5 to 5 below. In terms of our skies, anyone to the north right now, watching out for you, because we are tracking a thin, narrow band of some snow showers here. Lake McHenry, some of this could or will slide into your area. Very light snow showers flying around. This is a weak system that's moving across parts of the Great Lakes. Not anticipating here a big snowfall event whatsoever, really, for the foreseeable future. As we head into our Saturday, again, remember I said a passing flurry or sprinkle. You can see that outlined with our futurecast, mainly to the north, and then into the afternoon. We get you some sunshine before sunset. Temperatures will be dropping as we head into the day on Sunday, so not as mild, but thankfully sunny. And as we advance our sky conditions into next week, we're not looking at any major hiccups as we are traveling for the holiday. In and around the area, yes, we'll have some clouds. Yes, there could be some areas of drizzle around. Temperatures above freezing and above average through much of the holiday week. Tuesday going back into the 40s. Late Wednesday, Christmas Eve, Santa Claus could be up against a few raindrops. And then on Friday, or on Thursday, Christmas, we are looking at temperatures soaring to almost near record high levels expected in the 50s. So one of the warmest Christmases on record will be with us. Dreams of a white Christmas, that's not happening here. Temperatures dropping over the weekend, but then back up into the holiday. 45 for Wednesday, again, some light rain showers by Thursday into the mid 50s. So lots to enjoy. I don't know if anyone's complaining. It would be nice to have a white Christmas, but like we've had a lot of snow.
We got a lot of snow already.
I'm good.
I'm okay.
Tapped out.
And Santa needs some good weather, right? So he can get across the country and around the world.
Yeah, he needs some good.
Yeah, and I need a break from shoveling
Right,
all
right.
weekend, you know?
Truly, it was nonstop for what, 2 weeks straight?
Yeah, 2 weeks straight.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right, let's get out again. All right, thanks,
Fun for
Cheryl.
the kids, though, right?
Yeah, and you can get the latest forecast anytime with the free ABC 7 Chicago News app. Just scan the QR code on your screen for a link to download. And we are gearing up for the 12th annual Great Chicago Blood Drive by showing you how donations help real people.
Sickle cell disease disproportionately impacts the Black community, and for many patients, regular blood transfusions are the difference between a crisis and stability. Here's ABC 7's Jose Sanders showing us how one Chicago man is opening up about his painful journey and the life-saving power of donors.
Growing up with sickle cell, I've always had my fair trials and tribulations.
At just 22 years old, McKinley Green has spent more time in hospitals than many people do in a lifetime.
In and out of the hospital for as long as I could remember, honestly. Up until, I want to say, senior year of high school, was my last really, really bad case of the sickle cell crisis. I was in there for, I want to say, 4 to 5 weeks. So I missed a lot of my senior year of high school, missed my graduation.
Green lives with sickle cell anemia. The disease causes red blood cells to become stiff and sickle-shaped, blocking blood flow and triggering severe pain.
There's not a whole lot you can do when you have a sickle cell crisis.
He remembers one crisis vividly, the one he says nearly broke him.
I wasn't able to walk at all during that time. It was just pins and needles all through my legs.
That crisis eventually required a blood transfusion. That's something sickle cell patients often rely on just for survival.
It's exhausting, you know, just constantly being in pain. After the blood transfusion, everything's been pretty good.
Sickle cell patients often need regular transfusions for life, and the best matches often come from donors of the same ethnicity, making black donors especially critical in supplying compatible blood.
That feeling that you're helping someone even if you don't know them, it feels good.
Now, McKinley's family hosts annual blood drives in their Austin community.
All of our blood goes directly to sickle cell patients.
For McKinley, the help he receives drives his desire to give back.
I'm extremely grateful, you know, just knowing that there are people out there who are willing to help others, even if they can't see my face and if they don't know who I am.
Jose Sanders, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Extremely powerful message there. Mark your calendars for January 14th and 15th for the Great Chicago Blood Drive. We're teaming up with the American Red Cross to provide 6 convenient donation locations across the 2 days. Just head over to abc7chicago.com to sign up for your appointment.
And we always have really great turnout, and we say thank you in advance for everybody who's signing up, who's going to be there, because it's
incredible.
Really important.
It's a real gift.
Well, coming up next, everybody, we will show you the winner of ABC 7's Great Chicago Light Fight.
And we'll tell you why this incredible gingerbread house is breaking records.
Wow. So you voted, and now we have a winner in our ABC 7 Great Chicago Light Fight contest. Diane Pathew is live in our 6 o'clock a.m. hour to crown the Ramos family from Posen as this year's winner. Dean Ramos said that the display was 7 years in the making. He says the first year he started small, but he added lights and displays every year, which culminated in this year's winning entry. And he says he's not done yet.
We do plan on adding on. We ran out of time this year. I have way more that we could have put up. We just ran out of time.
All right.
The snow hit and that was it.
It is just amazing and stunning. The light bill, I want to know. Congratulations to them, and thank you to everyone who sent us entries this year. But this is fantastic. Oh, wow. Can you imagine walking by that every night? Thank you for that.
What else could we be forgetting?
Our troubles will be ours.
Kevin!
This is a must-watch for me every year. In honor of Home Alone's 35th anniversary, Disney Plus and Hulu built the McAllister's house entirely out of gingerbread. The house is made from 5,700 pounds of all-purpose flour, more than 4,200 eggs, 4,400 gingerbread brick tiles, and 800 roof tiles. It's held together with 20 gallons of edible glue and finished with 20 pounds of fondant.
What's the go?
It is amazing because, one, it's all edible. So the whole thing, you could tear it down and eat it. We might eat a little bit later tonight. And it is over 22 feet high, 58 feet wide, 40-some feet deep. I mean, it is a massive structure, and it's beautiful to look at. And they built it in 8 days.
I told the team here, this is bigger than my first apartment. That makes it the world's exactly. That makes it the world's largest gingerbread house. An official judge from Guinness World Records was on hand to verify the record. It beats one set in 2013.
That is fantastic and looks delicious. All right, have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you at 10 after the game. Yeah. We're going to deny the Epstein.
Two. Also I don't think you ever turned out.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah?
All right, you ready?
One second. Oh boy. Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Us is ready.
4, 3, 2.
Breaking now on Eyewitness News, the U.S. launching strikes on Syria after 2 American service members were killed by an ISIS gunman.
New details on what the defense secretary is calling a declaration of vengeance.
Also breaking tonight, the Epstein files, thousands of documents connected to the notorious, to that, I'm just, 3, 2, 1. Also breaking tonight, the Epstein files, thousands of documents connected to the notorious sex offender made public for the first time.
You want to say the or that? It said that. It wrote
I know,
that.
but the notorious,
okay, fine.
that, because that means
that
it's like distance.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. What they reveal and what the government still has not released.
As we approach the holidays, a tragedy for the family of a 78-year-old man hit and killed when a car swerved into a suburban parking lot.
How that veteran is being remembered tonight.